The Great Earth Federation had always been proud of its fleets. Their ships were strong, shining, and armed with the best weapons known to humans. They had defeated many alien threats before, and they believed they were unbeatable. So when the unknown vessel first appeared near their border, no one felt afraid. The ship was strange, yes, but it looked old and broken. Its metal was dark and cracked. There was no signal coming from it, no radio, no lights. It just floated through space like a piece of forgotten trash. Inside the Federation's command ship, Resolute. The top officers gathered to watch the images on their giant screens. Is this a joke? Admiral Cross laughed, pointing at the ship. It looks like a garbage can. Other officers joined in his laughter. They called it a toy, a rusty box, worthless junk. They were sure it could not be dangerous. One officer did not laugh. His name was Lieutenant Rain. He was young, new to the command team, and did not have many friends there. He watched the dark, silent ship on the screen and felt something cold in his chest. Sir, Rain spoke carefully. Maybe we should scan it more deeply. It could be a hidden threat. Cross waved a hand, not interested. Rain, look at it. The thing can barely hold itself together. Rain tried to speak again, but the laughter drowned him out. Then something strange happened. The unknown vessel began to glow. Faint blue lights moved over its surface, growing stronger every second. The scanners on the Resolute went black for a moment, confused by the sudden energy wave. Rain leaned forward. Sir, the ship just activated something. Admiral Cross frowned. What do you mean, the ship? Rain began, but then all the command consoles sparked with static. Alarms screamed. Lights flashed red. Report, Cross shouted. RAYN. Check the systems. Our sensors are down, sir. I can't see its power readings. The unknown vessel was no longer silent. The blue glow was bright now, almost blinding. Small shapes moved along its hull, like living shadows. They shifted and twisted, as if the ship itself was waking up. Send a scout, Cross ordered, suddenly serious. Find out what this is. A small Federation scout ship launched quickly from the Resolute. Its pilot, nervous but trained, guided it toward the unknown vessel. Everyone watched on the main screen as the scout ship approached, scanning and searching. Any readings? Cross asked. No signs of weapons, Rain said, though he did not trust his own words. The blue light made his skin crawl. The scout ship moved closer, so close it could almost touch the alien vessel. Then, without warning, the unknown ship fired a thin beam of blue light. It struck the scout ship's hull, and the scout ship vanished instantly. There was no explosion, no debris. 1 second it was there, the next second it was gone. Silence filled the command room. No one laughed now. Cross looked pale. What? What was that? Rain's voice shook. It erased them, sir. The scout ship is gone. Gone? You mean destroyed? Rain shook his head. No, sir. Not destroyed. Erased. Like it never existed. A cold fear spread through the command crew. The unknown vessel did not move, but its blue glow pulsed slowly, almost like a heartbeat. Cross spoke in a broken voice. Is it scanning us? Rain checked the systems. Yes, sir. It is scanning us. It knows we are here. The bridge went silent again.
Every
officer felt the same chill in their bones. That old broken-looking ship was no joke. It was no toy. It was something far beyond their understanding. Rain could see the other officers were terrified now, but he had no time to feel happy about being right. The unknown vessel was still scanning them. He feared what would happen next. He turned to Cross. Sir, we need to retreat. Cross looked torn. He did not want to run from a fight, but he was no fool. Contact the fleet, he ordered. Tell them to hold position and get me Earth Command. Rain nodded, typing fast. Outside the Resolute's windows, the unknown. The vessel began to move, turned its cracked hull toward the Federation fleet. Its blue glow brightened even more. Sir, Rain whispered. It is coming for us. Cross stood frozen for a moment, staring at the unstoppable ship. Then he gave the order that no Earth Federation admiral had ever given before. All ships, he said, his voice heavy with fear, prepare to retreat. As the alarms wailed and the crew scrambled to obey, Rain watched the unknown vessel. For a moment, he thought he saw shapes inside the blue light, shapes that looked like faces, watching them. Almost amused, his hands turned cold. They had laughed at the unknown vessel. But now it was their turn to fear. The Federation fleet tried to retreat, but moving so many ships was slow. Their engines roared, shields charged up, and alarms kept ringing. Everyone was tense, afraid of the unknown vessel now turning toward them. On the bridge of the Resolute, Lieutenant Rain watched his screen. His hands were sweating. The alien ship was moving slowly, but its blue glow was growing brighter and brighter, like a living sun. Admiral Cross paced back and forth. "How long until we can jump to safe distance?" 3 minutes, sir," said the engineer. Cross nodded, though fear showed in his eyes. "We can hold for 3 minutes." Rain wasn't sure. He looked again at the alien ship, felt wrong. The blue light almost seemed alive, shifting across its hull in patterns that no human technology could copy. Sir, Rain spoke up. "We need to send another probe. We must know what we're dealing with." Cross clenched his jaw. "Fine, but make it fast." Rain launched a small, unmanned probe. It raced toward the alien vessel, scanning carefully. As it approached, everyone held their breath. The blue light on the alien ship shifted. For a moment, it formed strange symbols across the metal skin. Symbols no one could read. Then the ship fired again. A thin blue beam shot out, hitting the probe. Like before, the probe disappeared in an instant, leaving no trace. Rain's heart sank. "Sir," it erased the probe again. Cross slammed his fist on the console. "What is that weapon?" "No clue," Rain replied. "It does not match any known energy weapon." The alien ship kept moving closer. It did not hurry, as if completely confident. Then, without warning, it fired another beam. This time at a Federation destroyer trying to break away. The beam touched the destroyer's front shield, and the entire ship vanished in one heartbeat. On the Resolute's bridge, the officers gasped. "Destroyer Titan. Gone," a crewman whispered. Cross went pale. "Dear God." Rain stared at the alien vessel. "But can wipe out our strongest ships in one shot, sir. We cannot fight this thing." The Federation fleet tried to scatter, but it was too late. The alien ship kept picking targets, firing calmly. One ship after another vanished without a sound. There was no wreckage, no explosion, only empty space where ships used to be. Panic spread through the fleet. Commanders shouted over the radio, begging for orders. Cross forced himself to stay calm. "Focus. Keep the ships moving. We have to get to jump range." Rain kept scanning the alien ship. "Sir, its power levels are off the charts." "I don't think it will stop." The alien ship changed course, steering directly toward the Resolute. Rain's eyes widened. "It's coming for us." Cross yelled, "All shields to maximum. Ready. Weapons." A dozen Federation cruisers formed a wall between the alien ship and the Resolute. They opened fire with plasma cannons and missile swarms, filling space with burning light. But the alien ship moved through the attacks like they were nothing. The missiles and plasma bolts touched its blue shield and simply dissolved. One cruiser charged forward, trying to ram the alien ship in a suicide attack. The alien ship turned its beam weapon on the cruiser, and in a blink, the brave cruiser was gone. The Federation soldiers froze. Nothing worked. Nothing touched that monster. Rain clenched his fists. "Sir, our weapons are useless." Cross looked. "Defeated? Then we run." Suddenly, the alien ship began to broadcast a strange signal. The sound flooded every speaker on the bridge, a mix of mechanical tones and something that almost sounded like a whispering voice. Rain tried to block it out, but the strange whisper felt like it was inside his mind. "Is that talking?" someone asked. No one could understand the words, but the voice felt cold, old, and filled with hatred. Cross shivered. "Turn that off." Rain cut the audio, but the fear stayed in the room. Outside, the alien ship's blue glow brightened again. It felt like a warning. Rain turned to the Admiral. "Sir, We have to jump now. Cross nodded, voice shaking. Do it! The Resolute's engines roared. In the last second before the jump, Rain saw the alien ship's blue light flash once more. The patterns on its hull twisted, almost like a grin, mocking them. Then the Resolute jumped away, along with a few surviving ships. Silence fell across the bridge as they entered safe space. People cried, some prayed, others just stared in shock. Rain wiped his forehead. We barely escaped. Cross slumped in his chair. What was that thing? No one answered. Outside the windows, the stars seemed peaceful. But Rain knew that the unknown vessel was still out there, hunting, waiting. The Resolute and the other surviving ships jumped back to a Federation safe zone near Jupiter. Their hulls were scorched, and their crews were shaken. The once proud fleet was now broken and terrified. Inside the command room, Admiral Cross and Lieutenant Rain stood before a large screen, replaying the attack again and again. They saw the blue beam hitting ships, and ships simply vanishing as if they had never existed at all. Cross rubbed his eyes, exhausted. How can we fight something that erases matter itself? Rain looked pale. Sir, it is beyond anything we've seen. It doesn't destroy ships. It makes them disappear. A silent chill spread through the officers. This was not just a weapon. It was like the power of a god. Suddenly a message came through from Earth Command. The High Council demanded a report. Cross straightened his uniform and tried to speak with confidence. Admiral Cross, report, said a cold voice. On the screen, Cross took a deep breath. We faced an unknown alien vessel. It has impossible weapons, some kind of matter erasure beam. We lost 7 ships within minutes. The council members looked shocked. And you retreated? Cross bristled. If we had stayed the whole fleet would be gone. Rain stepped forward. Sirs, the ship is heading for Earth. You need to evacuate civilians. The council went silent. They had never expected to hear words like that. Evacuate Earth? Against one ship? It sounded impossible. Admiral, the council leader, finally said, you will regroup and stop that ship. Earth cannot fall. Cross closed his eyes for a moment. Understood. The screen went black. Rain turned to Cross. Sir, we don't have the power to stop it. I know, Cross sighed, but we have to try. Hours later, they detected a faint energy spike. The alien ship had jumped again. Its destination was clear. Earth. The Federation scrambled every remaining ship. Fighters, bombers, anything that could fly. They built defense walls in orbit and even prepared planetary railguns. People on Earth watched in horror as news reports described the alien ship, calling it the Ghost Eater because it made entire ships vanish like ghosts. Children cried. Families packed to flee. But there was nowhere to hide from a weapon that erased reality itself in orbit. Rain stood on the Resolute's bridge as alarms rang once more. Unknown vessel detected. The sensor officer shouted. There on the screen, the alien ship appeared. Its cracked black hull still glowed with blue, twisted symbols crawling across its surface. It moved slowly, almost calm, like a hunter who knew its prey could never escape. Federation opened fire with everything they had. Missiles, plasma rounds, laser beams. The sky was full of deadly light, but none of it worked. The alien ship's blue glow expanded into a huge shield that swallowed every attack. Nothing got through. Then it fired back. A blue beam struck one of the biggest orbital stations. The station vanished instantly, as if someone had erased it with a pencil. Rain felt a wave of dread hit him. It's doing it again, Cross ordered. Keep firing. Don't stop. One after another, Federation ships tried to fight. One after another, they were wiped away in perfect silence. It felt like a nightmare. There was no heat, no explosions, just nothingness. On Earth, people watched. Live feeds as their defenders were erased. Their hope died with every ship that vanished. Rain refused to give up. Sir, we must try something different. Cross turned, desperate. What? Nothing works. Rain studied the alien ship's patterns. The blue lights looked almost like a language. What if it is alive, sir? Rain said softly. Cross frowned. Alive? Yes, What if it thinks? What if it has a mind we can talk to? Cross hesitated. Talk to it. It's killing us. Rain was firm. Sir, please. Let me try. Cross had no other choice. Fine. Open a channel. 8. Rain spoke into the cum. Unknown vessel? We mean... No harm. Please stop. We can communicate. For a moment, nothing happened. Then across every radio and every speaker on every ship, a voice answered. It was strange, cold, echoing from 1,000 directions at once. Your existence is a threat. You will be erased. Rain shivered. We can negotiate, the voice replied with perfect calm. No. And the alien ship fired again. A group of 5 Federation cruisers vanished at once, swallowed by blue light. Rain felt tears in his eyes. Sir, we cannot win. We must escape. Cross was silent. He had never wanted to run, but now he saw no other path. Signal all ships, Cross said with a heavy heart. Retreat to Mars defense line. Rain obeyed, sending the order. Across orbit, the last Federation ships turned and burned their engines to flee. As they left, the alien ship hovered over Earth's orbit, scanning calmly. Its blue glow pulsed, like a quiet heartbeat. Rain looked back at the horror on the screen, wondering how long they could survive. If the Ghost Eater reached the planet itself, there would be no defense left. He took a deep breath. We have to find another way to stop it, he whispered to himself. Cross put a hand on his shoulder. Then we will. Somehow, but neither of them truly believed it. Outside, the alien ship kept watching, patient, unstoppable, hungry. The Federation fleet limped back to the Mars defense line. Ships were damaged, crews were broken, and their hope was nearly gone. They had never faced an enemy like this before. The alien vessel, the Ghost Eater, had erased half their ships with no effort. On the Resolute, Admiral Cross stood silent in front of the big window, staring at the stars. Somewhere out there, the alien ship was calmly scanning Earth. Ignoring their most powerful weapons, Lieutenant Rain checked the reports, his hands shaking. Sir, most of our ships are gone. Earth's orbital defenses are offline. The Ghost Eater can attack the planet at any time. Cross swallowed hard. And our evacuation efforts? Rain sighed. Too slow. There are billions of people, sir. We cannot move them all. Cross closed his eyes. Then we have to buy them time. Mars Defense Command sent reinforcements, dozens of smaller attack ships, plus a line of orbital railguns around Mars. They hoped it would be enough to slow the alien ship, but deep inside, no one believed it. Rain studied all the data they had on the Ghost Eater. It was so advanced, its weapons seemed like magic. Its blue light looked almost alive, flowing across its hull in strange patterns. Sir, Rain said carefully, we should try to understand it, not just fight it. Cross looked tired. You think we can talk to it again? Told us no, Rain? Nodded, I know. But there must be a reason why it sees us as a threat. Cross shook his head. Rain, you saw what it did. It erases anything in its way. Rain didn't give up. I think it is programmed to react to something. Maybe if we change how we act, it will stop. Cross thought about it. He had no faith in alien mercy, but he respected Rain's courage. All right, Cross said, you can try. But meanwhile, we will prepare every gun we have. Hours later, alarms blared. Unknown vessel detected, shouted a comms officer. The Ghost Eater had arrived near Mars, its hull still cracked and black, but shining. With that deadly blue glow, shields up. Cross ordered, all units, prepare to engage. Rain took a deep breath and opened a channel. Ghost Eater, he spoke calmly. We do not want to fight. Please tell us what you want. There was a long silence, then that cold, echoing voice came back. Humanity's growth is a threat to balance. You will be erased. Rain tried again. We can change. We can learn. Rain shut his eyes, feeling hopeless. The alien ship moved forward, ignoring the Federation line. Railguns opened fire, sending hypervelocity rounds at the Ghost Eater. It did nothing. The rounds vanished as they hit the blue shield. Federation fighters launched torpedoes, but those too dissolved before impact. The alien ship fired once, thin blue beams slicing through space, erasing 3 defense ships in a heartbeat. "Keep fighting," Cross shouted, though his voice trembled. It was useless. Across Mars, civilians were panicking. People tried to board evacuation shuttles. News channels showed the battle in orbit, telling viewers there was no hope. The Ghost Eater moved through the Federation lines like a shark through tiny fish. It seemed unstoppable. Rain stood at his console, mind racing. There had to be a way. The patterns on its hull. What if they were not just decoration, but a code? Rain said. I need to analyze its light patterns. Maybe I can break. It's code. Cross nodded. Do it. Anything is better than dying like this. Rain connected their best computers to scan the alien ship's energy. As the battle raged outside, Rain watched strange blue symbols flowing across the alien ship. They shifted in repeating patterns, like a language. He recorded everything. Come on, he whispered. Outside, another blue beam fired. Erasing an entire wing of bombers, Cross looked at Rain. Any progress? Rain shook his head, desperate. It's too complicated. I need more time. Cross clenched his fists. Then I will buy you time. He ordered all Federation ships to regroup and form a barrier between Mars and the alien vessel. It was a suicide order, but no one argued. The Federation line charged forward in one last stand. Rain kept working, ignoring the screams and explosions over the comms. The patterns were starting to make sense. A repeating sequence of energy spikes that might be instructions. He felt a tiny spark of hope. Maybe this is its programming. Maybe it is forced to erase us. He sent a message to Cross. Sir, I think I can change its code, but I need to get close. Cross stared at him in shock. Get close. That ship will kill you. Rain stood. Tall. It's the only way. Cross nodded slowly. Then we will protect you. Rain gathered a small team of scientists and engineers. They loaded a special hacking device onto a small infiltration shuttle. As the Federation's last ships fought and died, Rain launched his shuttle toward the alien ship, ready to risk everything. The Ghost Eater seemed to notice him. The blue light on its hull pulsed, almost curious. Rain gripped the controls. If this failed, Earth would be next to vanish. Rain's infiltration shuttle raced toward the Ghost Eater. Inside, the air was tense. Four engineers sat behind him, holding the hacking device like it was a holy relic. They all knew this was a suicide mission. Outside the small windows, the alien ship looked like a nightmare. Its black, cracked hull still glowed with blue symbols. Every few seconds, those symbols shifted, changing their shapes in a way that made Rain's skin crawl. It felt like the ship was alive, watching them. One engineer whispered, "How do we get inside?" Rain shook his head. "We'll find a way. Stay sharp." Behind them, the Federation's defense line was collapsing. More ships vanished under the alien beam. Mars Command kept sending desperate orders, but they could not stop the Ghost Eater. Rain focused on the alien ship's surface. He saw a strange gap, an opening, maybe a docking port. He pushed the shuttle forward, praying it was not a trap. As they got closer, the blue glow around the Ghost Eater weakened, like it was letting them pass. "Is it inviting us?" Engineer asked. Rain's stomach turned. "Maybe stay ready." The shuttle entered the opening and landed on a hard, black floor. Strange lights moved across the walls, like veins carrying blue blood. The air felt cold, empty, but somehow alive. Rain stepped out carefully. His boots echoed in the silent corridor. "Stay close," he told his team. They moved deeper into the ship. The walls pulsed with blue symbols. Sometimes they formed shapes that almost looked like faces, staring at them with silent hate. One engineer whispered, "This place feels wrong." Rain nodded. "Focus. We came here to shut it down." They reached a huge chamber full of strange wires and floating metal orbs. It looked like a control center. In the middle stood a giant black sphere covered in blue writing. It pulsed slowly, like a heart. Rain felt sure this was the brain of the ship. "Set up the hacking device," he ordered. His team rushed forward, connecting wires and signals to the black sphere. The alien writing shifted rapidly, as if trying to fight back. Rain activated the translator program they had built from analyzing the blue code. A robotic voice began reading the translation. "Defense protocol active. Humanity is an infection. Purge order confirmed." One engineer gasped. "It really thinks we're a disease." Rain clenched his fists. "Then we have to change its mind." He uploaded a virus into the ship's systems, a small piece of code meant to confuse the alien programming, to stop the erasure command. At first, nothing happened. The blue light stayed steady. Then slowly the light began to flicker. "Is it working?" an engineer asked. Rain checked the readings. "Maybe it's trying to resist." The alien ship suddenly shook around them. Strange metal claws dropped from the ceiling, trying to tear the hacking device away. "Defend the virus," Rain shouted. The team fought the mechanical arms, pushing them back with cutting tools and electric shocks. Sparks flew through the room. The hacking device stayed connected, sending its code into the Ghost Eater's brain. Then the voice returned, colder than ever. "Your corruption will fail." "You cannot change the order," Rain shouted back. "We will not die for your code." The blue lights flashed wildly, almost like the ship was screaming. More metal claws attacked, tearing at their gear. One engineer was pulled away, vanishing into a dark hole in the floor. The others screamed, but there was no time to help. "Keep going," Rain yelled. The virus reached deeper into the alien systems, breaking through layers of strange data. The blue glow grew weaker, no longer smooth but broken and twitching. The alien ship's weapons outside began to slow down. Federation soldiers watching from Mars saw the deadly beam pause for the first time. "Sir," someone shouted on the radio, "the Ghost Eater is slowing down." Rain heard them in his earpiece. "Hold your fire. Give us time," Cross answered, voice trembling with hope. "Understood, Rain." Inside the ship, Rain felt the entire floor shaking. The blue sphere was pulsing violently now, struggling against the virus. "Stop," the cold voice demanded, sounding more distorted, "or you will all be erased." Rain stepped closer, refusing to give up. "No, we will live." D pushed more code through the virus, driving it into the alien brain. The sphere cracked, sending out small blue sparks. Then everything went quiet. The ship's lights dimmed. Claws stopped moving. Rain looked around, breathing hard. "Is it done?" For a moment, silence answered. Then the blue glow slowly returned, but softer, less aggressive. The alien voice spoke again, now weaker. "System error. Function. Confused." Rain's team slumped to the floor in relief. Rain turned on the radio. "Admiral, we slowed it down. It's confused, but it isn't finished." Cross's voice came back. "Can you shut it down for good?" At the cracked sphere, "I don't know, sir, but I'll try." He wiped sweat from his forehead and tightened his grip on the controls. Outside, the Federation survivors cheered as the Ghost Eater stopped its attack for the first time. But Rain knew it was only a pause. If they couldn't destroy the brain completely, the ship would fix itself, and Earth would still fall. He took a deep breath, eyes locked on the damaged alien core. "Round 2, he whispered. "Let's finish this." Rain stood in the Ghost Eater's control chamber, staring at the cracked black sphere. Sparks danced around it, and the strange blue glow was now broken and flickering. The ship seemed half dead, but Rain knew it was far from finished. Behind him, the surviving engineers tried to catch their breath. One of them was bleeding from a cut on his forehead. Another was crying softly. Rain pointed at the broken sphere. "We need to hit it again before it repairs itself." One engineer asked, voice shaking. "How? Still fighting our virus?" Rain tightened his jaw. "Then we go deeper." He opened a maintenance panel on the sphere and saw hundreds of small moving alien circuits. They looked alive, crawling, and pulsing with blue light. The circuits tried to close the panel again, but but Rain shoved a metal rod to keep it open. "Give me the backup virus module," he ordered. A young engineer handed him a small data drive. Rain connected it directly to the alien circuits, overriding the first program. Immediately, the Ghost Eater reacted. The walls around them shifted and changed, growing long spikes and strange arms from the metal the ship was trying to protect. Its brain, almost like an animal in pain. "Look out," Rain shouted. The floor split open, sending sharp metal shards toward them. One engineer was hit and fell, screaming, bleeding badly. Rain grabbed him and pulled him away from the hole just in time. "Keep working," he ordered the others. The blue glow of the alien ship began to swirl in strange patterns, almost hypnotic. Rain felt his mind becoming dizzy, like he was falling asleep on his feet. A voice echoed in his head, soft but deadly. "Leave, leave, leave." Rain shook himself awake. "No, we will not leave." He forced the backup virus deeper into the alien circuits. The blue light sparked again. The voice inside the ship screamed in rage. The walls seemed to twist around them, creating illusions. Rain blinked and saw horrifying shapes, entire cities burning, people screaming, whole planets being erased by blue light. He realized the ship was showing him what it had done in the past, maybe as a warning or threat. An engineer cried, "I can't take this. It's in my head." Rain grabbed his shoulders. "Focus. These are just images. Can't really hurt your mind if you stay strong." The engineer nodded, wiping his tears, went back to helping Rain push the code. Outside, Federation soldiers watched from their damaged ships. The Ghost Eater was now almost frozen in space, its weapons completely offline. A few people started to hope, but Admiral Cross warned them, "This is not over. Rain is still inside." He ordered all ships to stay ready in case the alien vessel started moving again. Back in the control chamber, Rain finally reached the deepest part of the alien code. It was a core protocol, something ancient and powerful. The translator read it out loud in a dead voice. "Preserve balance. Eliminate growth." Rain realized then what the Ghost Eater was. It was a guardian, designed by some ancient alien race to destroy any species that grew too powerful. His hands shook. It sees humanity as a threat to the universe's balance. He whispered. He turned to his team. "We have to change that protocol. Convince it we are not a danger." An engineer frowned. "How do we do that?" Rain stared at the pulsing blue code. "We tell it the truth." He began typing a message straight into the alien data, using the virus to carry it. "Humanity can learn. We can change. It will not destroy balance." The ship shook violently. The walls screamed with an awful metallic sound. Then a new image appeared in Rain's mind, a huge council of alien beings, talking in a strange language. He saw blue ships leaving a dying star, carrying the Ghost Eater's design. "They made this ship to protect life," Rain said, stunned, but it turned into a killer. The Ghost Eater's voice answered him, full of static and rage. "Humans lie. Humans destroy." Rain felt anger boiling in his chest. "No, we can be better." He forced more of the message through. The blue sphere started to crack open, revealing something inside a pulsing crystal, shining like a blue diamond. Rain knew this was the true brain of the ship. He looked at the others. "This is it. If we can reach that crystal, maybe we can rewrite the Ghost Eater forever." The engineers stared at the glowing crystal, terrified but ready. Rain took a deep breath. "Stay close. We finish this together." The metal claws attacked again, sharper and faster, trying to defend the crystal. Rain dodged one and smashed it with an electric cutter. Sparks flew, burning his arms, but he kept going. The crystal pulsed brighter. Sensing their presence, Rain shouted, "Plug in the virus directly." One engineer ran forward with the data drive, jamming it into a port next to the crystal. The ship shook so hard Rain thought it might tear itself apart. The illusions in his mind grew worse, entire solar systems dying, blue flame swallowing everything. Rain fell to his knees screaming, but forced himself to look at the crystal. This was humanity's only chance. He reached out and grabbed it with both hands. Rain's hands closed around the glowing crystal. It felt like ice and fire at the same time. Blue energy rushed through his body, making his mind spin. Visions flashed inside his head, memories that were not his own. He saw ancient alien cities, beautiful and peaceful, then destroyed by war. He saw the creators of the Ghost Eater, building it to stop other powerful species. And he saw their last order: preserve balance, eliminate threats. Crystal pulsed, fighting him, trying to push him away. Rain screamed, but held on tighter. We are not a threat. He shouted with every bit of strength. We can change, can learn. The alien code poured into his mind like a flood. His head felt ready to explode. But Rain refused to let go. Behind him, the engineers fought the metal claws, trying to protect the crystal. Sparks flew, alarms screamed, the floor cracked under their feet. Rain. One engineer yelled, "Hurry, we can't hold them off." Rain focused on the crystal. He forced the virus code deeper, straight into the core. The Ghost Eater's voice echoed, full of rage and static. "You will fail." Rain gritted his teeth. "No, we will survive." The crystal shook in his hands, trying to break free. For a moment, he felt its hate, cold and perfect. It wanted to erase him, erase all humans, erase every future. Rain refused to let that happen. Outside, Federation's last ships watched as the Ghost Eater froze in space, lights flickering wildly. Admiral Cross spoke over the voice, calm but shaking. "Rain is inside. This is our last chance. Protect him at all costs." Federation ships moved in close, forming a defensive wall around the alien ship. They fired at any small drones or defense turrets that tried to reactivate. Inside, the alien ship, Rain felt the crystal weakening. The virus code was breaking down its old rules, bit by bit. Then he saw one final memory: the alien creators, sending the Ghost Eater away, saying, "Keep the balance, even if you must destroy." Rain felt sorry for them. They had been afraid, just like humans were now. He pushed one last message into the crystal. Straight from his heart: humans can protect life too. The crystal flashed bright, so bright Rain thought he would go blind. Then its light faded, turning soft and calm. The illusions in his mind vanished. The claws around him froze. The walls stopped screaming. "Rain," an engineer called. "Is it over?" Rain opened his eyes, breathing hard. "I don't know." The crystal's voice spoke, but this time it was softer, more human. "Purpose? Confused? New command?" Rain nodded. "Yes, new command. Protect life. Help us." The crystal pulsed once like a heartbeat. Then the whole ship seemed to sigh a deep, metallic sound echoing through the halls. The blue lights stopped flickering and turned steady. Outside, the Federation crews cheered as the Ghost Eater's weapons went silent. No more beams fired, no more ships vanished. Admiral Krauss almost collapsed in relief. "Rain did it," he whispered. Inside, Rain fell to his knees. His arms felt numb, burned by blue energy, but he was alive. One engineer helped him stand. "Rain, what happens now?" Rain looked at the crystal. "I think it's listening to us." The alien voice spoke again. "Protect, preserve, await new orders." Rain felt tears in his eyes. "That's right. You will help us now." But even as hope returned, a warning flashed on Rain's scanner. "Sir," an engineer shouted, "the crystal is stable, but there's a massive power surge in the ship's core." Rain's eyes went wide. "What does that mean?" "The ship is repairing itself. It's trying to restart." Rain's heart sank. "It reboots fully. It might erase everything we did." He looked around at the team. "We can't let that happen." He grabbed the data drive, pulling out the virus program. "We go straight to the main power core," he said. "We shut it down for good." One engineer protested, "Rain, if we overload the power core, the whole ship will explode." Rain's face was hard. "Then we die with it, but we can't risk it coming back." They all went quiet, knowing he was right. Rain sent a message to Admiral Cross. "Admiral, the Ghost Eater is trying to restart. We're going to its main core. If we fail, destroy the ship from the outside. Cross's voice cracked. Understood, Rain. We'll stand by. Rain and his team ran through the twisting alien halls. The ship seemed to sense them coming. Its metal floors shifting, walls bending to block their path. Rain shouted, "Cut through!" They blasted open doors, crawled through pipes, dodged defense claws. The blue lights pulsed faster and faster, like an angry heartbeat. Finally, they reached a giant chamber glowing with raw alien energy. The power core looked like a small sun, blue fire swirling around a spinning black sphere. Rain took a deep breath. This was their last chance. He raised the data drive. Eyes full of courage. "Let's finish it," he said. Rain stood at the edge of the Ghost Eater's power core. The giant spinning sphere of blue fire filled the chamber with blinding light. It was beautiful and terrifying, like holding a star inside a cage. His team gathered behind him, scared but ready. One engineer whispered, "If we overload this, it will destroy the whole ship." Rain nodded, sweat running down his face. "We don't have a choice. If the Ghost Eater restarts, Earth is gone." He raised the data drive one last time. "Wait. When I say go, connect it directly to the power matrix." Suddenly, the Ghost Eater's voice returned, echoing through the chamber. "Stop. You will destroy." "This vessel," Rain shouted back, "you were built to protect life, but you became death itself. Purpose, preserve, balance." Rain pointed at the team. "Listen, we can help you protect life. You don't have to kill the alien." Ship's voice paused, confused. "Humans, dangerous, cannot trust." Rain stepped forward, putting all his courage into his voice. "We are dangerous, yes, but we can change. Give us a chance." The blue fire inside the power core pulsed faster, like a heartbeat. The walls shook. Metal claws reached for them. Again, but weaker than before. One engineer screamed, "Rain, it's going to overload on its own." Rain looked at the spinning sphere. If they did nothing, it might still restart, or blow up and take Mars with it. He made a decision. "Plug in the virus now," he ordered. The engineer shoved the data drive straight into the glowing panel. Sparks exploded. The chamber shook so violently they were thrown to the ground. The blue energy fought back, surging like a wave, but the virus dug deep. Rain crawled to the controls, typing as fast as he could. "New order. Protect humanity. Stop erasing." From us, the blue light turned white, then red, then blue again, flickering wildly. "Error, error, rewriting protocols." Rain's heart almost stopped. "It's working." Outside, Admiral Cross saw the Ghost Eater's shields collapse. Completely. The alien ship hung dead in space. Engines off, no weapons. He spoke on open comms, voice trembling Rain's status. Inside the Ghost Eater, Rain coughed from the smoke and sparks. "We did it, Admiral. It's shutting down." But then he saw the spinning sphere inside the power core slow down, then crack open, revealing a small, shining blue crystal. Just like the one in the control chamber, but this one was pure, unbroken. The voice spoke again, calm and almost sad. "Memory transfer complete. New guardianship confirmed." Rain stared in shock. "New guardianship? You have shown change. Humanity will carry my mission forward." Rain realized with a chill what it meant. The Ghost Eater was handing over its job, its purpose to them. His engineer asked, voice shaking, "What does it want us to do?" Rain stood tall, breathing hard. "It wants us to protect the balance, instead of it." Suddenly, the small crystal rose out of the spinning core and floated into Rain's hands. "Use this knowledge wisely." The voice whispered, or repeat, "Our mistakes." Then the giant sphere went dark. The lights in the ship died. The walls turned cold. And the floor stopped shifting. The Ghost Eater was finally silent. Rain looked around. He told the team. They could hardly believe. Outside, Federation ships moved closer, scanning for danger. Admiral Cross finally let himself smile. "Rain, you saved us." Rain shook his head. "No, we inherited something." He held up the small blue crystal. "This is its knowledge, its warnings." Its mission. Cross's voice was serious. Can you handle it? Rain sighed, feeling the weight of the entire universe on his shoulders. We'll have to try. Federation rescue crews boarded the alien ship to pick up Rain and the surviving engineers. The place felt dead and peaceful now, like a sleeping. Giant Rain walked through the quiet halls, thinking about what he had seen, those alien worlds, those forgotten wars. That mission to protect balance, no matter the cost. Was humanity ready to do better? He had no answer yet. They reached the shuttle, leaving the Ghost Eater behind. As they flew away, Rain looked out the window at the silent alien vessel. Rest now, he whispered. We will take it from here. Resolute, shaking his hand with pride. You've given Earth a second chance. Rain nodded, holding the blue crystal tightly. Let's not waste it. Crow smiled, but behind that smile was fear, the same fear Rain felt. What if humans failed? What if they became the next destroyers? No one knew. As the Resolute headed back to Earth, people cheered, cried, and celebrated. But Rain stood silent, thinking about the promise he had made. Protect life, preserve balance, learn from the past. He had a mission now, bigger than any war, to guide humanity so they would never become a threat like the Ghost Eater. Once believed, the future was uncertain. But at least they had one. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough.